Hello, dear motorsport fans, and here it is, the video I was threatening about indeed about these F1 rules and regulations, which are bringing up lots of discussions and ranting and comments and everything like that. But I would say that chill out. Everything's just fine, and it's finally we have very powerful F1 cars, over 1000 horsepower. Last time we had it in 80s. I mean, somewhere in 83 to 88, there was horsepower about 1500, which is spot on. Spot on, not for wimps, but proper drivers. Cheers for that. And back then, rules were like you could make engine 1.5, of course, that was a limitation, but you can add it turbo size of your head in there and get some power out of it. But you have to get along with certain amount of fuel. So you can't drive whole race distance with 1500 horsepower. Because back then there was two reasons. Two. One was reliability. It would explode at some point if you push it too much. 80s turbo, yeah, that's how it is. And then you run out of fuel if you start to kick it really badly. Like my favorite drivers of all times, Keke Rosberg, did it especially in 86, like James Hunt was saying in a commentator booth that Rosberg is driving like a fuel regulations doesn't concern him at all. and yeah, he did drive like that, but okay, it was very clairvoyant and very entertaining to see, but of course then was like nah when it's Rosberg driving side of the track and no fuel. Yeah. So about these current regulations, I would say strongly that all this rant and discussions and things coming up, just ignore it. And Max is upset with Carlos and everything because their cars and their manufacturers and engine suppliers haven't done proper work with that power unit. That's the problem. I mean, and the clearest example is Aston Martin. I mean, last year they were doing pretty okay, but this year they are behind Cadillacs. So, but as we all know, the Aston Martin isn't or hasn't been very concentrated on electric powertrains after Lawrence Stroll took over. So maybe it could be that. I mean, yeah, it's just like combustion days and hybrid days. I mean, who does the work best is the winner. And clearly Mercedes has done a good job, but also Ferrari has done a good job. And now McLaren is starting to figure out that Mercedes power units, because possibly Mercedes have forgot to tell them how it works. So that's motorsport, but that's how everybody does these things. There's huge amount of money involved, so it makes human characters doing interesting things like that, like in rally and inside of F1 teams. Some drivers doesn't share very much the information try to create that kind of very depressing atmosphere to another driver and suppress him or her, which is wrong. And I would say those kind of drivers are a bit of a buttholes, but yeah, they are usually very successful. But sometimes they are not even that, which is great. Cheers for that. But anyway, about these rules, there is this fantastic commentator in Finnish Viasat called Ossi Oikarinen, and he is really smart about these things, and he has worked in different teams as a race engineer, as an engineer and mechanic. So I would say Ossi knows pretty much about these things, and he explained that currently the problem is that electric power doesn't last if you have a long enough straight, like we see in Japan at the moment. So after that R corner of that number R thing, you can see clearly that speed is dropping. And okay, that's a bummer. I know it sucks and it's stupid, but that's how it is currently. And then when was this Max was saying many things, and then some fans and reporters said FIA must change everything, and no, they are not gonna change anything, except if they are gonna change something, it's gonna be something little, like Ossi said, that they are adjusting that power output, that it lasts a bit longer, but at the end they don't change much. But that's called progress. I mean, I would say it's 2 to 3 months from now, and batteries are all the time full. And one thing I don't understand, when the guys are leaving the pit lanes, why batteries are not full at that moment. That's like extremely retarded that you can't charge it with a cable, like you can charge hybrids and EVs and things like that. I mean, that's a relevant technology for the manufacturers, especially engine manufacturers like Mercedes and Honda should be very interested in it. And okay, Ferrari interest is purely hybrid. And okay, they have that electric car coming also, which is quite interesting to see how they cracked that thing. And yeah. But anyway, I would say we will have extremely fast and exciting series in a few months. And we finally have powerful enough cars again, which are harder to drive, which is important to have great races. And okay, this charging, fiddling and other BS is a bit of a bummer at this moment, but this doesn't last very long. Just like 80s turbo era, like with magic stroke, teams developed the engines that can have over 1000 horsepower all the time, kind of like full race, and you can adjust it with the button just like today. And but I would say it's that charging bit, when you leave from the pits or you come to the pits, you should charge it with the cable, because that's very relevant to car manufacturers and teams, that they can develop that. I mean, think about it. If you happen to have hybrid or EV, then you have something like 5-minute charge time, or even less. I mean, wet dream would be, of course, that's like in 90s when Schumacher and Mika Häkkinen was fighting together. There was these refueling stops and tire stops. They were like 10-second stops, something like that. I mean, if the teams can charge the battery in 10 seconds, that would be something else. And that will be revolutionize everything. And that's the way we are kind of going at the moment. But only with regenerative braking and other charging possibilities. But that cable thing I would really love to have, just like a field stop. That not bad. I mean, you could actually do that probably with supercapacitors. They are unloading their power so fast, but then problem is the cooling in the car itself that could glow red hot after a while. But anyway, it's not our problem to think about that unless we are applying the engineering departments of F1 teams. But anyway, yeah, that's my take, kind of. So we should take it easy and relax and enjoy the racing, and everything will be better. I mean, those guys, they don't hang out in a sofa and smoke weed and eat snacks. They are kind of developing these things all the time, night and day. So if you want to have progress, just let them develop, just like this. You have to throw them in the sea at first and see can they swim or like save themselves from there. And yes, they can. That's for sure. They always have, they always will. Don't never underestimate motorsport engineers. Never. Or space technology engineers, as we can see in SpaceX and NASA. So they are capable of really interesting and amazing things if you just let them. So let's enjoy Japan GP and hope for the best and let the best man win and best car win. So Formula One is all about driving and engineering. Actually, all motorsport is. That's why I don't understand these classes which are ruined by this single chassis BS like Formula E. Formula E would be truly interesting if the team can build whole car. But I mean, what's the point? There's no point, and there's no development. I mean, FIA is controlling the development of that series totally, so it just doesn't work, at least not for me. But yeah, I mean, motorsport is tech and development and driving skills and bravery and excitement, and danger also is very crucial. And you can't make it 100% safe ever. If you try in midway, you ruin everything. That's how it is. I mean, drivers love dangerous tracks. I love dangerous tracks. And yeah, only people who doesn't like it is the FIA and the TV people. They like a ruination of Hockenheim track. That was total bummer back in the day. And it was nothing to do with safety or driver boredom to drive. It was TV. They wanted to make it easy for them and the spectators, and then they ruined the track, and spectators don't give a shit anymore of Hockenheim. That's really ruined. That was fantastic track. I mean, motorsports, you need engine test. Just like now, currently in Formula One, those long straights in Hockenheim would force teams to develop that electric powertrain in one weekend to be much better. But now currently we don't have any that kind of tracks. We have long straights in Azerbaijan and somewhere else, but not the same. Just like in Le Mans. Mulsanne straight is like orgasm. Full throttle, flat out over 400. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I've been driving it only digitally with PlayStation, but anyway, it's still fun. So we can imagine how it is for some Group C car. Very, very lovely. Yeah, but anyway, let's chill out and take it easy and enjoy the racing, and everything be just fine. Trust me. And like and subscribe, and we'll discuss and see in the next video. And comment below if you have something to add for my rant here. Okay, but have a nice Saturday.